Good morning. How is everyone doing this morning? Hope you are all well and getting some energy from all that sunshine outside. I know that I am. It's chilly out there, but bundle up and get out there today. I've already been out, and after my dog is the first one to get a haircut in my family, we're going to be going on a long walk later today. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you are too. All right, what do you say that we get settled on our mat and get to moving a little bit? Sounds good to me. Okay, so have a seat. If you happen to practice and if you happen to have a block or maybe just a pillow to sit up on, I'm going to sit up on a block today that I have to open up into my hips. So just propping something up on your sitting bones is actually really helpful, especially if your hips and your pelvis area are very tight, and mine are today. So I'm just propping them up on my sitting bones. So as I'm sitting up, I'm tilted forward just a little bit. And then I'm just settling into my breath, sitting up tall, soften your shoulders. Have my palms face down on my knees and thighs today because I just need a little bit more grounding. I just taught another class, so I'm feeling like I need to bring it down a little bit, especially when you go from HIIT cardio followed by a little bit of yoga to this. So I got to bring it down and bring my energy to you all, which I'm so appreciative of you joining me here. But if you're feeling a little bit sluggish and tired, if you had a difficult night of sleep or you've just been kind of stressed out with everything happening, maybe you want your palms face up, maybe you bring your thumb and forefinger together in that Yana Mudra, opening yourself up to wisdom and just accepting what is meant to come to you today through your practice. So you determine what works best for you and just begin to settle into your breath. And this is where we begin that deep belly breathing. As we inhale and exhale in and out of the nose, we start bringing the belly in, or bring the breath into the belly as it expands and contracts. Just beginning to tune in to any sensations that you might be noticing as you're breathing here. Doing a little scan from your head down to your toes, beginning to notice anything that might be happening in your head and neck, anything in your shoulders, the front of your shoulders and across the chest, the upper back and the back of the shoulders, the middle of your back, wrapping it around to the middle of your torso and the ribs, the front side of your ribs. Moving on down into your abdomen area, noticing any sensations there. Wrapping around to the low back. Coming on down into the hip region and into the glutes. And then noticing what's happening with the top of the thighs, the hamstrings, the back of the knees, the knee joints themselves, your shins, your calves, your ankles, the tops of your feet, the bottoms of your feet, the toes, I forgot the arms, our upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, the hands and the fingers. And just noticing what's happening as you breathe there. And staying with that deep belly breathing, maybe you start to increase that inhale a little bit and bring a little bit more breath in. So maybe you expand not only from the belly, but bring it up into the ribcage area. Totally up to you. You can stay just with bringing into the belly or energize just a little bit more. And then thinking about an intention for your practice today. Maybe you have something that you're working on within your practice that you'd like to set as your intention. Maybe there's something else that you're working on in your life, personally, professionally, that you would like to become your intention. Maybe it's just a simple thought or a prayer for yourself or a family member, another sort of loved one, whatever it may be. Find that intention, and then we'll seal it with a cleansing breath. Take a deep inhale through the nose, fill all the way up from the belly to the ribs, all the way up to the chest. And with an open mouth exhale, let it all go. Let's do that 2 more times. Fill all the way up to the top with the breath. And then let it all go. 1 more time, fill it all the way up. And then open mouth and let it go. Settle back into that belly breathing. And maybe you want to enter into Ujjayi breath, which is making a constriction of the muscles at your back of your throat. Some people call it Darth Vader breath. So you keep your lips sealed here, and you just audibly hear your breath as you constrict those muscles at the back of your throat. So you should not only hear it on your inhale, but also on your exhale. Now you'll hear it more predominantly on your exhale, but you will hear it on your inhale as long as you keep those muscles constricted at the back of your throat. Now the purpose of this breath is to really help keep your focus on your practice and keep reminding yourself to breathe, because that's one of the most important aspects of our yoga practice, is to bring into syncopation our breath and our movements. So that's why this Ujjayi breath is very, very important, and something you don't have to do it in your practice, but it's really helpful because it keeps your mind set and steady in the present moment and on what you're doing, and it makes sure that you are breathing when I'm saying inhale and exhale. It also helps you when you've got those postures that are a little bit more challenging for you, especially when we're in balancing or maybe we're holding a posture in more of a strength move. It's helpful for that as well. So many, many benefits for our Ujjayi breath that I encourage you to give it a try and see what you can do. And if you ever need a little bit more one-on-one instruction on that, just let me know. So settle back into your breath. Find that breath that will feed your practice. And then from here, let's find some gentle movement. I'd like you to take your right ear and bring it over to your right shoulder. I'm going to mirror all of your movements here. Now, maybe you take that left hand and arm and reach out to the side. Maybe the fingertips are on your mat or whatever surface you're on. Maybe you've got longer arms than me, or you're just in some way that the way your body is shaped, you can place that palm all the way down onto the mat. So you do what works for you. We're just opening up the left side of the neck and breathing into any tight spaces that you're noticing there. From here, let's change this movement just a little bit slightly so that we open up into different connective tissues here. Let's keep our head angled over towards that right shoulder. You take the chin down towards that shoulder. So just angle it down. Your eye gaze can follow. And then as we pause and breathe here and notice how that changes that stretch, we then angle the chin up towards the sky, still keeping our head angled over towards that right shoulder, pausing wherever you need to. I'm not traveling up towards the sky where you feel that tension and focus your breath there. And then once again, as you exhale, bring the chin and angle it back down towards the shoulder. Once again, take this at whatever pace you need to, pausing wherever you need to. And then one more time, reach it up towards the sky. And then bring the chin back to a neutral position and then raise your head back up. And then take your left ear over towards your left shoulder as you extend your right arm out. Fingertips or palms are on the surface that you're in. And then breathe into any kind of stress or tension that you may be holding there. Any resistance, any tightness, soreness. Allow your breath to Give it a will to let go and to soften. And then with your head still angled over towards that left shoulder, bring the chin down towards the shoulder as your eye gaze follows along with it. And then angle it up towards the sky. Take this at a pace that feels good. Notice the difference from one side to the other. And then as you exhale, bring it down. And then inhale, raise it up. And then bring the chin back to that neutral position. Raise your head back up. Place your hands on your knees and thighs for some support. We'll take a seated cat-cow. As we inhale, we're going to roll our shoulders back as we bring our chest forward and then look up towards the sky. And then we'll exhale, leaning back. Shoulders are forward, tucking the chin to the chest. We'll inhale and bring it forward, roll the shoulders back, look up, and then exhale, lean it back. A couple more times here, flowing with your breath, opening up the heart as you bring it forward, exhaling as you bring it back, chin to chest. One more time, bring it forward, and then exhale, bring it back. Beautiful job. Come on back up here. Reach your arms out to the side. Let's take some side bends here. Reach that right arm up and over, bend into that left elbow, deep side stretch, pressing that left sitting bone down, or right sitting bone down into the mat. Exhale, bring it down, and then left arm up and over. Lengthen a deep stretch, one more time to each side. Beautiful. Reach it up and lengthen. And then bring it down. From here, come onto your hands and knees. Lift that cushion or whatever you're on out from underneath you. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Deb. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Thanks. Oh, hi, Martin. How are you guys doing out there? Awesome. Thanks for joining me. So we are on all fours in that tabletop pose, spreading those fingers out wide. Tops of our feet and our toes are on our mats. And finding that core strength. Remember, your core is from your pelvis all the way up to your ribcage, and then it wraps all the way around, okay? So engage all those muscles around there, like you're constricting in your ribs, and then engaging your lower abs. Excellent. All right, from here, take a deep inhale. As you exhale, we're going to shift our hips back towards our heels in a child's pose here, and then lengthen your arms out. Slide those palms out just a little bit further as you lengthen through your shoulders. Feel that all the way down to your tailbone. Beautiful. And then as we inhale, we're going to raise our hips up and then bring our hips forward as we come into a modified up dog, bringing our pelvis behind our wrists here and rolling our shoulders back as we look up towards the sky. Elevate the heart here. Beautiful. Exhale back into that child's pose. Really lengthen through those arms. Press into the base of the palms. Get a nice stretch across the upper back and shoulders. We'll inhale back up. Find that modified up dog. Open up through the pelvis, the lower portion of your abdomen there. Exhale. Sink it back down into that child's pose one more time. Find your breath there. Feel a lengthening of your spine. Maybe you bring your forehead all the way down to the mat if that's accessible to you. If not, just allow it to hover. And then we'll inhale back up one last time, finding that modified up dog. And then we'll come back to a neutral position for just a moment. So we're going to take these two basic movements and find a little bit of a circle with them. So from here, I want you to shift your hips back towards your right heel and then squeeze them back towards your left heel and then bringing your pelvis and your hips forward behind the left wrist and then sweeping them over to the right and then shift the hips back towards your right heel, sweep it over to your left, bring it forward behind that left wrist and then back to the right. One more time in this direction. And then we will pause behind that left wrist and switch the direction, bringing the hips back towards your left heel. Sweep it to the right. Bring it forward behind your right wrist. Sweep it to the left. Really open up to that pelvis. And then sweep the hips and the glutes back. Sweep it to the right. Open up. Sweep it to the left. Reach it back. One more time, bring it forward. And then come back and do a neutral position. Excellent. From here, extend your left leg straight behind you. Your toes and the balls of the foot are on the mat. Readjust here. Make sure your shoulders are over your wrist. Press it to the top of your right foot and that right shin. And then lift that left leg straight up. So that left heel is in alignment with your hip and find your balance here. Your core is really active. Breathe here. Beautiful. And then lengthen your right arm straight out, bringing that bicep right by your ear. The palm is facing in. Your thumb is reaching up towards the sky. Everything is lengthening. And then I want you to take the left foot and angle the pinky toe down as you lift the big toe up a little bit. So you're a little bit pigeon-toed in that back foot. There you go. Just hang on to this. Soften into that left elbow. Don't lock it out. Hold it for 3, for 2, for 1. Excellent. Lower everything back down to that original position. We'll take that same thing on the opposite side. Lengthen that right leg back. Really reach through that heel. And with the strength of that right glute and inner thigh, lift that leg up. A long line from that heel out through the crown of your head. Don't allow your head to dip down here. And then reach that left arm out. The palm is facing in. That thumb is facing up. Bicep is by your ear. Hug that belly in. Core is strong and active. Pressing into the top of the left foot and that shin. Hold it for 3, for 2, for 1. Beautiful. Bring it down. From here, I'd like you to lower down onto your belly. There you go. And then extend your arms out in front of you. We're going to work on some strength in our back and take this in a little bit of a progression, okay? So from here, what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to have your hands with your palms facing each other, and we're just going to lift up our upper body. So we're just going to lift up our arms and our upper chest and shoulders, and pause there for a moment, and then exhale, lower it down. Let's do that again. Lift it up. Pause there, and then exhale, lower it down. One more time. Lift it up and pause, and then lower down. Now we're just going to lift up with our legs. On an inhale breath, lift up the legs. Those inner thighs are spinning up towards the sky, and then lower them down. One more time. Raise them up. Lower them down. Actually, one last time. And then raise them up. And then lower them down. Excellent. All right, from here, let's put it all together. Let's raise our arms up as well as raise the legs up. All right, lift up the arms, lift up the legs. Pause there. And then lower down. Beautiful. Let's take that 2 more times. As you inhale, raise up. Exhale, lower it down. One more time. Inhale, raise it up. And then exhale, lower it down. Beautiful. All right, let's take opposite arm and opposite leg. So reach the right arm up and the left leg up and pause there. Reach and lengthen through the toes and through the fingertips. And then lower it down. And then the left arm and the right leg raise up. And then they lower down. One more time, each side. Right arm, left leg, the left side of your pelvis, and your hip is lifting up off the mat. And then we lower down, and then left arm, right leg, reach it up. And then lower down. Beautiful. Slide those hands back underneath your shoulders. Press them back up onto hands and knees. And then from here, let's take a little bit of a cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round it out, chin to chest. Release any tension in the lower back here. Inhale, roll the shoulders, arch the belly down. Exhale, round it out, dropping chin to chest, lower the tailbone. One more time. Beautiful job. All right, from here, let's tuck our toes under and send our hips high. Let's find our first downward facing dog of our day here. Bending your knees as generously as you need to. Maybe again to pedal out the feet here if that feels good, or maybe you keep both knees bent and then just keep reaching the heels down towards the mat. I just want you to find some movement in this downward facing dog that feels good to you. What does your body need here? Tune in to what kind of movement it needs. I'm going to begin to bicycle my legs, and then I'm going to raise my hips up along with raising and lowering my heels. So I'm working not only on the back sides of my legs, but I'm also getting this little bit of twisting action with my hips kind of wagging back and forth. So I'm working into my outer leg lines as well. Now, what's happening with my arms and my hands is that the weight of everything in those arms and hands is coming towards the inner portion of my arms and towards that thumb and forefinger. So I'm protecting my wrist and that delicate outer edge of my hands. My biceps are tracking forward towards my hands. My triceps are tracking back towards my feet. My core is strong and active. I'm lifting my tailbone up just a little bit, and notice how that brings your belly a little bit closer towards your thighs, just that action, because we're going just a little bit more deeply into that V. Breathe it out. Excellent. We're going to continue this walking action as we travel up into a forward fold. Now, you can take larger steps or smaller ones. You find what works for you. Just bending and straightening the legs as you make your way up into a forward fold. Once you arrive there, exhaling into that forward fold. Allow your head and neck to be free here. I'm just going to allow my head to dangle. Breathe it out. Softening your knees as much as you need to, and then take a hold on opposite elbows. Find that ragdoll pose. Rock a little bit from side to side. Find your breath along with this. Softening everything. The head, the neck, the shoulders. That torso is just really resting. And that head is the middle of that pendulum, that weight that brings us from side to side. Excellent. Come to stillness and release your arms down along the sides, and then we'll gently ragdoll up to standing, stacking the vertebra all the way along. Taking your time, rolling the shoulders back as you arrive in our mountain pose, bringing your palms facing forward, bringing your head and neck in alignment with your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, hips over your knees, knees over those ankles. Find that long, tall posture. And then lift up your toes, wiggle them, and set each toe down, starting with your pinky toe. This is difficult. You have to really think about this. Those two middle toes, they want to come together. But try to set each toe down, one at a time. There you go. And then press down into the heels and then the balls of the foot. And then lift up through the arches. Notice how that activates the legs. You're tucking your tailbone in. Your core is strong and active here. You're rolling your shoulders back. This is an active pose. It's mountain pose. It's long and tall. And you are strong. Beautiful. Let's inhale. Let's sweep our arms out and up overhead. Really need to lengthen. Exhale as you bring your palms together. And then we'll inhale and exhale, taking the chorus and stretch to the right, pressing into that left foot as you bump that left hip out. Maybe your eye gaze is forward. Maybe you look up towards that inner elbow or maybe up towards the sky. And then we'll inhale, bring it to the center and then over to the left. So everything lengthening from your shoulder down to that underarm, your hip, all the way down to that grounded foot. We'll inhale back through to the center. Let's exhale and find chair pose. Sink the hips back towards your heels. Sink the glutes back. Draw your thighs together. Those upper arms should be right by your ears. So the biceps right by your ears. The palms are facing in. If that's too much pressure, if you've got a lot of tension across your upper back and shoulders, you can also bring your hands to your heart center. Tuck your tailbone in. Keep your core strong and active. Keep breathing here. Firing up those thighs. Oh yeah. Hold it for 3, for 2, for 1. Straighten the legs. Exhale back into forward fold. Fold it over. Relax the head, the neck, and the shoulders. From here, let's find our spinal extension, placing our hands on our shins or just below the knees. Maybe some of you can bring your fingertips down onto the mat, depending upon your flexibility. You find your flat back. So we're forming an L shape with our body. I'd like you to think about raising your tailbone up just slightly. Notice how that changes the stretch. You should feel a little bit more stretch down the back sides of your leg and into those glutes. And then exhale into that forward fold. From here, I'd like you to take a soft bend into the right knee and straighten out that left leg. And then round that right hand into something. Now, maybe it's below your knee, maybe it's your shin, maybe fingertips are on the mat. We're just going to take a little twist here. Reaching that left arm straight out so it's perpendicular with your body, and then lifting it up towards the sky. So you try to do your best to stack the shoulders, and then just breathe into that left hamstring. Nice work. Find your breath, really extend those exhales. And then lower that left hand down. We'll take this on the opposite side. Bend into that left knee, plant that left hand, and then reach the right arm out, lengthen it up. Roll that right shoulder back and find your breath. And then we'll exhale and bring it down from here. We're going to inhale and sweep our arms up. We're going to exhale and come back into that chair pose. Sink it back down. You should be able to see your toes beyond your knees. You should be able to wiggle those toes. Remember the biceps are by the ears. Strong and active core. And then we'll inhale, lengthen it up, reach up, look up, get tall, this tall mountain. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Breathe. Beautiful work. We're going to take a similar sequence here. Changing up a few things and adding on. Are you ready? With me now. Figure out somebody else. Oh, yes. Okay, let's do it again. Inhale, sweep our arms up overhead. We reach up and lengthen. Taking a side bend here, putting that right hand down towards that right thigh, reaching that left arm up and over. Maybe you find just a little bit deeper lengthening on the left side, or maybe it's just a deeper feeling within your breath. And then we'll inhale, right arm raises up, parallel with the left. Exhale, left hand reaches down. Work your breath. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, have a seat in that chair. Tucking the tailbone. Breathing out. Take another deep inhale. Exhale, fold over those legs. Inhale, find that spinal extension. Reach out. Find that L shape, that number 7. And then exhale, fold over those legs. I'd like you to bend your knees so you can put your hands down. And then step back with that left foot. Take a long stride back there. So we're in a low lunge. That right knee is directly over your ankle. And then we'll take a little twist here. Ground that left hand on the inside of that right leg. Twist your torso to the right. Stack your shoulders. Lengthen that right arm. So you're lengthening your right arm. You're also lengthening that left leg. So really reach through the heel. Activate the glute there as you reach through the heel. Every time as we twist through our waist,
activating our digestive organs, stimulating that detoxification process within our bodies. And then exhale, lower that right hand down. From here, we're going to raise on up to a high crescent lunge, working on our balance. Maybe you need to bend that left knee to help you with your balance. Hug your hips and thighs in here. Raise it on up. Lengthen it up. Beautiful work. Tuck your tailbone in, kind of tilt your pelvis forward. Little lengthening of your torso as you raise your arms up. Now, if you have that back knee bent, really lengthen through that back leg. Once you've established your balance and find your breath here. Breathe out. Beautiful. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more challenging. We're going to float up into a warrior three from here. Now, if your balance is a challenge, I want you to step that left foot in a little bit. Give yourself a little bit more leverage when you bring your weight onto that right foot, and we're just going to lift that left foot back. Now, you can reach your arms, keep them forward, or if balance is more of a challenge, keep your hands at your heart center. All right, let's float into it. Bring our weight onto that right leg, float the left leg up, find your balance. Keep the core strong and active. Hug your hips in. Your arms can be out for a little bit more of a challenge. They could be out to the side. They could be behind you. They keep them at your heart center. Whatever helps you with your balance. Core strong and active. Beautiful. Bring that left leg forward. Come into forward pose. Beautiful work. Find your balance again. Excellent. Rotate that knee and thigh out to the side. Let's find tree pose here. So that foot is coming on the inside of the calf, or you're bringing that heel up inside that groin and then placing that foot on the inside of that right thigh. Just an option. Don't lock out into that right knee. Now, arms can stay at your heart center, or they can float up towards the sky. They can reach out. If they're up towards the sky, your fingertips can be free here, allowing the arms and the top of your torso to balance out that swaying of your legs. Exactly what a tree does. The tree branches sway to keep the tree upright and balanced. Beautiful. All right, bring your hands to your heart center. Rotate that left knee and thigh back to the center. And with strength and balance, send that left leg back. Reach through the heel. Back to that high crescent lunge. Beautiful. Exhale, float your hands down. When you frame that right foot, reach through the heel. You find yourself in that low lunge. And then we're going to step the right foot back to meet the left, finding ourselves in that top of a push-up. Now you could be down on your knees here. That's an option, okay? We're going to take our flow, our vinyasa, as we like to call it, to our downward facing dog. Lots and lots of options here, on your toes or on your knees. I'm going to show you on your knees. You can come all the way down to the mat. You can come halfway down into that upward facing dog. If you're coming all the way down with me, hug your elbows in, slide the hands back to the low ribs, tops of my feet and the toes are on the mat. As I inhale, I'm going to raise my chest and shoulders up, hugging my elbows in, drawing my chin in slightly as I'm looking straight down to protect my cervical vertebra. Exhale, lower the chest and shoulders down. Inhale, press on back up, hands and knees are on the toes in that full plank. Exhale, rolling over the toes, inverting the hips high, forwarding that inverted V shape. We're back in that downward facing dog. Beautiful. Pedal it out. Find your breath here. All right, we're going to take that same sequence on the opposite side. With an inhale breath, send that left leg skyward, reach through that heel. This is our three-legged dog here. Even out the weight that's distributed in between your arms and your hands. As you exhale, step that left foot forward in between your hands. We find ourselves in that low lunge. That left knee is directly over the ankle. We're planting that right hand on the inside of the left leg. And then taking a twist towards that left leg, opening up as you stack the shoulders and lengthen through that left arm. Reach to the right heel. Breathe into this. Twisting from the waist. Eye gaze can be forward or out towards that left outstretched arm. Exhale, left hand comes down. All right, getting ready for that high crescent lunge. Find your balance. Maybe bend that right knee if you need to. Raise it on up. Scissor your hips and thighs together. Raise the arms up. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. You can draw your pinky fingers down to help that. Find your balance. Tuck your tailbone in. Raising up like your waist and your torso on up from your hips and lifting up towards your sky. And then the feet are grounded down. And then we're going to float it on up into that warrior three. Maybe step that right foot forward if you need a little help with your balance. And come to your heart center. Float up into your version of that warrior three. Find your balance. Soften into that left knee. Maybe extend your arms out. Maybe reach them out to the side. Maybe you lengthen them back. Whatever works for you. Lengthen through that right heel. Hug the hips in. All right, coming into our pillar pose for a moment. Bringing our hands at our heart center. Setting up for our balance in that tree pose. Sternly rotating that right knee and thigh out. Placing that foot below or up above the knee, just not on the knee. Don't ever want to put pressure on that knee. Find your balance. Find some place for your gaze. Your gaze is out in front of you on something that's not moving. You're not locking out into that left leg. Arms can reach up towards the sky, out to the side. They can remain at your heart center. Very nice. And then rotate to that right knee thigh, back to the center. Bring our hands back to your heart with strength and balance. Send that right leg back. Reestablish a high crescent lunge. Beautiful work. Exhale. Bring your hands down, back to the mat. Reframing. And then from here, I want you to step your right foot up to meet the left. Finding yourself in that forward fold again, drawing the crown of your head down. And then we'll root down through the feet and rise on up, sweeping arms out and up overhead. Really lengthen, reach. Exhale. Bring your hands to your heart center. Beautiful work. We're going to do one more standing flow here. We're going to inhale and sweep our arms out and up overhead. Take a hold of the left wrist with your right hand and reach up and over. Once again, deep side stretch. Feels so good to open up into the side of the ribs. And then release. Inhale, reach up and over as you exhale. Take a hold of the right wrist in your left hand. And then we'll inhale back through to the center. Exhale, find that chair pose. Sink it back. Bring your hands to your heart center and take a twist in this chair. From here, take your right elbow, plant it just above that left knee, twisting through the waist as you keep your hips in alignment with each other, looking back towards that left elbow. Now, when I say keep your hips in alignment with each other, you need to peek down at your knees. If you notice your right knee jutting forward a little bit, pull your right hip back and then press your left shin forward. That'll help bring them into alignment. Beautiful work. We'll inhale through to the center. Exhale, take that to the opposite side, anchoring that left elbow just above the knee, looking back towards the right elbow, lifting from the waist, the hips are facing forward, breathing into that twist. And then we'll inhale through to the center. Exhale, forward fold, straighten the legs, allow the head, the neck, and the shoulders to relax for a moment. Inhale. Spinal extension, hands on the shins or just below the knees. Exhale, pull the chest and shoulders down. Step back with that right foot. Long stride here. And then pivot your right heel down. And then windmill up, opening up into a warrior two, opening up the shoulders, opening up your hips, settling into warrior two. Now in warrior two, when you peek down, your left knee should be directly over the left ankle. You should see your toes beyond your knees. If you don't, that means that your left knee is a little too far forward. You need to reach it back. The heel of your front foot should be in alignment with the arch of your back foot. I like to angle my back toes forward at about 45-degree angle. I'm arrow straight with my arms out directly from the center of my heart. Tucking my tailbone in a little bit. Engaging with my core, constricting the ribs in. Beautiful job. And then I'm going to take a reverse warrior, maybe with a bind, wrapping that right arm behind that left, or around that left hip, and then lifting the left palm up, reaching it up and back as I lengthen through the left side of my body. Breathing to the left side of the rib cage, lots of breath. You can hear that ujjayi breath. Exhale back into that warrior two. From here, straighten that left leg. We're going to work in the triangle. Now, some of you might want a little bit shorter stance in triangle. If you want to, you can heel toe that foot in, still keeping that 45-degree angle with your toe. You can reach the right hip back as you reach that left arm forward. So we're lengthening through that left hip crease. And then we're lowering our torso down as the left hand comes down on the shin or just below the knee, wherever is accessible to you. Stacking your shoulders, raising up with that right arm. And finding this expansiveness within this triangle pose. Our legs are strong and active here. So lift up to the arches of your feet. Remember we did that in our mountain pose and notice how that engages the muscles of the legs. Breathe here. And then we'll get a little bit of core strength from here. What I'd like you to do is just take that left hand and arm and just raise it up off of your leg and reach it forward with the palm facing up. This right arm is reaching up and over your head. So the arms are parallel with each other like you're holding onto a beach ball. Still expand your chest up towards the sky. Engage the core. Beautiful. And then we'll inhale, raise it up. Rotate that left foot so it's parallel with the right. Soften through your shoulders. Another deep inhale. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Bring your arms down, lengthen through your torso. Lots of options with your hands. You could walk your hands back so your wrists are in alignment with your heels with your fingertips facing forward. You can spin your wrists around so your fingertips are facing behind you and walk your hands back to that wall directly behind you. We'll go a little bit deeper into that stretch, but that might be too much for you. You could also reach your arms out, taking a hold of your ankle or somewhere on the outside of your feet. You can take your first two fingers and wrap them around your big toe, called your kiss fingers, and intersect them with your thumb. So lots of options. The weight of our body is coming forward no matter which option you choose. So if you find that your weight is settling into your heels, I want you to bring your body forward towards the middle of your foot and towards the ball of your foot. That will give you the greatest stretch here. It'll change your balance a little bit, so you might need to readjust, but this is the ultimate positioning for this forward fold. Beautiful. Allow the crown of your head to reach down towards the mat. This is a very calming pose. Just breathe here. Beautiful. And then from here, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. The palms are directly underneath your shoulders. Let's take a little twist here. Plant that left palm directly underneath your chest and then float that right arm out and then lengthen it up towards the sky as you twist from your waist, raising that right shoulder up and back. And then exhale, lower that left hand down, replace the left hand with your right, grounding it down, and sweeping that left arm out and up. And then exhale, bring it down. Beautiful. Rotate your feet and your legs and rebend into that left knee, coming back into that low lunge. Reach that right heel up. And then from here, step that left foot back to meet your right, making your way back onto your toes or on your knees. And then we'll take our flow to downward facing dog, spreading our fingertips out wide. I'm going to demonstrate here our halfway push up to upward facing dog. I'm first going to press my body weight forward and then exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale up to that upward facing dog. My knees and my shins are up off the mat. Now you could be in that modified up dog as well. Knees and shins up off the mat. This is just a little bit more intense. Opening up into my shoulders, feeling it into my pelvis and the lower abs. Exhale, roll over the toes, send those hips high. Downward facing dog. Beautiful job. All right, on an inhale breath, send that right leg up to the sky. Reach through the heel. This is our three-legged dog. Hug your hips in. As you exhale, step that right foot forward. Plant that left heel down. We're going to windmill those arms up and find ourselves in that warrior two, opening up the shoulders, opening up your hips. Deep bend into that right knee. Right knee stacks over the ankle. Should be able to see the toes. Feel an external rotation of our thighs. Find that strong warrior gaze over that front middle finger. Arrow straight with the arms. And then take that reverse warrior with the bind. Left hand wraps around that right hip. Right palm reaches up. Lengthen. Keep that bend and that lunge into that right knee. Expand the breath deep within the right side of your belly. And then we'll exhale back into that warrior two. Straighten through that right leg. Maybe take that little bit shorter stance if you want to by heel toeing that left foot in. Set up for your triangle pose. Reach it forward, lengthen that left hip back. Tuck those arms. Lengthen and really open up. Feel expansive here. Feel like your lower rib cage is bringing it forward. The top of your rib cage is opening back. And then find that core work here. Raise that right arm up off of the leg. Reach it forward. The palm is facing up. Left arm is reaching up and over. Hold onto that ball. You got it for 3, for 2, for 1. Raise it up. Rotate that right foot so it's parallel to the left. Deep, deep inhale. Exhale to a Skandasana, side lunge to the left. Bringing my knee in alignment with my foot. I'm going to angle my toes out a little bit as I shift my hips down. Lots of options in a side lunge. You can support your hands out in front of you. You can sink your hips down further towards your heel if you can. If your heel comes up off the mat, that's okay, as long as it's not up too far. It really reaches up more than an inch or 2 inches up off the mat. You need to keep the heel down and just support yourself, okay? That's a little bit better positioning. But if it just pops up a little bit, that's okay. This right foot can stay grounded, or it can lift up and flex a little bit. You'll get a little bit more stretch on the inside of that right leg. Just breathe into it and find your version of this Skandasana, our side lunge. Beautiful. All right, let's lift our hips up and come back into the center and take this to the opposite side. Being respectful of the difference from one side to the other, okay? You may have a great difference, it may not be much, but notice it and adjust for it, okay? This doesn't have to look exactly the same on this side as it does on the other, just depending upon your flexibility, your mobility, what your body will allow you to do today. Always honoring what our body allows us to do. It's okay to push a little bit, but there's a threshold there that you don't want to cross. All right, bringing it back to the center, rotating everything back towards the front of your mat. coming back into that low lunge. And then from here, I'd like you to step your right foot back to meet the left, and then send your hips high. Let's come back into downward facing dog. And let's just pedal out the feet a little bit. From here, I'd like you to take your right leg and reach it up towards the sky. Find that three-legged dog again. And then as you exhale, step it forward in between your hands and then lower that left knee down onto the mat for a grounded lunge. And then I'd like you to sweep your arms up towards the sky. Press forward with your hips and thighs. Beautiful. Just feel that deep stretch in that left quadricep and that psoas on that left side. And then from here, take this right arm and sweep it down. Reach the right hand in the direction of behind that left thigh. And then angle that left arm up and over towards the back right corner of the mat. So we're kind of revolving into a twist. A little bit of reverse. Beautiful. As we exhale, bring the hands down. Into our quarter splits here, shifting our hips back towards our heels as we straighten out that right leg, drawing the toes back and reaching through that heel. Breathe into that. You can lower the belly down towards that thigh and really lengthen through that torso, reaching the chest towards your knee and the chin reaches in the direction of the ankle and the shin. You walk your hands out a little bit further towards that foot. Deepen that stretch to sink in. Forward. From here, re-bend into that right knee, pulling back into that lunge. We'll take pigeon from here. What I'd like you to do is walk that right foot over towards the left side of your mat. So that left foot is behind your left wrist. And then lower that right knee down so it comes behind your right wrist there. And then from here, tuck your left toes under. Lift that left knee up and then lengthen it back towards the back of your mat. So really find length within your torso here before we lower down. So that right foot is flexed so it protects our knee. And once you've found that length and you're lengthening up towards the side, then we're going to lower down, bringing the belly down in the direction of your calf, coming down onto forearms and elbows. Maybe this is what your pigeon looks like today. If you're feeling really tight in that right hip and outer thigh, breathe into it. Maybe you can come down so you can stack both fists or one fist, supporting your forehead onto those fists. Or maybe you can come down further, stacking your palms and then having your forehead on your palms. Maybe even some of you can reach your arms out and then lower your forehead all the way down. You find your version of this deep hip opener. I want you to come to a soft edge here. Find a soft edge and breathe into it, not crossing into that threshold of pain. So be gentle. This is a deep stretch. Ease on into it. Our body takes several times to really find a softness and an ease. You're never really going to find a true ease unless you're just extremely flexible when pigeon pose, but it does get easier and your body does adapt to it. So just find your breath. Think about relaxing every other single muscle in your body. Just focusing all of your mindset and all of your breath into that outer hip and thigh and letting everything else go. And then we'll begin to ease on up out of that. Bring our hands back underneath our shoulders as we straighten those arms. Tuck the left toes under. And then lift that left knee up. A couple of options here to come out of our pigeon pose. You could actually keep your left knee down onto the mat and come back into tabletop. Or you could send this right leg back and go straight into downward facing dog. I want you to take whatever version works for you, okay? I'm gonna go straight back into downward facing dog, raising my hips up, and then I'm just gonna roll out into that right hip and that right knee and ankle, rolling it out. Excellent job. All right, inhale breath, send that left leg up to the sky, reach through that heel. As we exhale, step that left foot forward in between your hands and then lower that right knee down. As you inhale, raise their arms up. Find that grounded lunge, but really press your hips and thighs forward. Feel that length in that right hip flexor and into that right quad. Finding evenness with your hip. With your hips, draw the left hip back as the right hip comes forward. Beautiful. Exhale, come into that quarter split. Save the hips back, reach to the heel. Draw your toes back. Lengthen your torso over that leg. Lengthen to the crown of your head. Walk your hands forward. Soften and surrender. Stand those exhales. And then breathe into that left knee. I want you to lift your arms up one more time because I forgot one aspect, which I love this move. Lengthen up and then exhale. Bring that left hand down behind your right thigh as your right arm with the palm facing down is reaching back towards the left back corner of your mat. You're pressing your hips and thighs forward. And then we'll exhale, lowering our hands down from here. Walk that left foot over toward the right side of your mat. Set up for pigeon on this pose. Gently lower that left knee down. Keep a flex into that left foot. Tuck the right toes under. Lift that right knee up and then lengthen it back. Find that extension in that lower back. Length within your spine, within your torso. And then gently lower down. Honoring the difference on this side from the other. You may be more flexible or less on this side. Just find your extension. Find your way of letting go. In this pigeon pose on this side, stacked fists, stacked palms, arms reaching out, whatever works for you. Breathing into it. Listening to your body. And then we'll gently come on back up. Pressing those hands underneath your shoulders, lengthening it up. From here, I'd like you to bend the right knee, tuck your right toes under. I want you to send that left knee back next to the right, and then lift your hips up towards your sky. Find your downward facing dog, and then roll out into that left hip. Beautiful job. And lower down onto your knees, and then lower it all the way down onto your belly here. I'd like you to come into a shoulder stretch from here. So what I want you to do is extend your right arm straight out, so it's perpendicular with your body. That left hand, the palm is coming right by your shoulder. Now what I want you to do is press into the palm of your left hand and roll onto your right hip. You're going to bend your left knee and then bring your foot down on the outside of that right leg. So you should feel a nice deep stretch into that right shoulder. Breathe into it. This can be pretty intense for some people if you're really, really tight in your shoulders. So breathe into it and just open up. Be gentle here. And then let's come on back onto our pelvis. Extend the left arm out. Bring that right hand right by your right shoulder. And then press on up, rolling onto that left hip. The right knee bends, that right foot comes behind that left leg. Lots of extended exhales. Releasing tension from the front of that left shoulder. Really all the way down that arm. And then come on back onto your pelvis, slide both hands underneath your shoulders. Press on back up onto your hands and knees. Cross at your ankles and then have a seat. And then bend your knees. Bring your feet flat onto the mat. Bring your hands underneath the knees and thighs and then gently lower down one vertebra at a time. Take your time. And then once you arrive there, I'd like us to find some version of a shoulder stand. Now, I'm going to give you several different options. If you've really never done a shoulder stand before, all I want you to do is form a diamond shape with your pointer fingers here and your thumbs, okay? And then I want you to place that diamond shape underneath your pelvis, supporting your hips and your tailbone there, and simply just raise your legs up towards the sky. So this is our first progression here. And if you've never done shoulder stand, this is where I want you to be, okay? Still getting all the benefits of bringing the fluid and the blood flow back towards your heart and back towards your brain. Now, if you've done a little bit of a shoulder stand, maybe you've done a modified shoulder stand, what you can do is bend your knees and then lift your hips up and then bring your hands underneath your hips and then support your hips with the ridge of your hands as you bring your elbows and those upper arms closer together. And then angling the feet over your head. So this is our modified shoulder stand here. Now, from here, you could go into a full shoulder stand, walking your hands up on your back as you raise your legs up, lifting your hips up. So we're bringing our weight onto our upper arms and the upper back, raising and lengthening as much as we can, hugging those elbows in towards each other, finding your breath. Beautiful work. Keep with it. Benefits our thyroid, our thymus. It's great for relaxing the legs if you've been on your feet a lot. Now, if you are in a half shoulder stand or full shoulder stand, I want you to come into plow, reaching your legs behind you. Now, if the feet don't meet the mat, I want you to still support your hands to your lower portion of your hips there. If they do, you could actually reach your arms out, whatever works. And then supporting our hands on our low hips, we'll gently lower down, lowering each vertebra down. And then if your legs are straight up, bend your knees, give yourself a big knee squeeze here, wrapping your arms around your shins. And then from here, extending your legs straight out in front of you, we'll come into a modified fish pose here. So I want your arms along your sides and your palms facing down. Press into your forearms and your elbows, and then lift up. I'm going to balance myself. And then I'm going to lift up my chest and allow my head to reach back a little bit. If that's too much across your upper back and shoulders and your neck, try to draw your chin in here. Bring your toes together, internally rotate your thighs. Excellent. And then let's lower down onto our backs here. Put your arms out to your sides, bend your knees. I'd like you to cross your right knee over your left. You will take a twist here, lowering your legs to the left as you look out over your right arm. With our legs crossed this way, we get just a little bit deeper stretch in that lower lumbar spine and that twist. Breathe into it. Doesn't matter how far down your legs are to the mat, you find your twist, doing your best to keep your right shoulder on the mat. And then raise your legs back up. We'll uncross, crossing the left over the right, and then floating our legs down to the right as you begin moving that left arm. And then we'll bring our knees back to the center, uncross them. I invite you to take any other move that feels good to you. Maybe it's the happy baby inside or outside the feet, or maybe it's your calves or your shins that are accessible to you. That's perfectly fine. Maybe you just want to bring one knee in and lengthen the other, whatever your body needs. I want you to do whatever moves it needs, okay? Maybe it's just coming into that ball shape, that little bear hug, rocking a little bit from side to side. And then let's set up for our Shavasana from here. Lengthen that right leg to the right front corner of your mat. Lengthen that left leg to the left front corner of your mat. Our arms are along our sides with our palms facing up. I'm tucking my shoulders underneath me. I'm relaxing every single muscle, every single joint, and just allowing my body to melt down into my mat here. About relaxing across your chest and shoulders, relaxing all the muscles of your face. You feel like you still got tension within your jaw. Open and close your jaw a few times. And then relax it. Allow your tongue to rest down in the bottom of your mouth. Soften across your forehead. Just find your breath here. Relax it. Find yourself, find that imagery of yourself in your favorite place where you go to relax. And just spend these next few moments right there. Gently reawaken your body as you deepen your breath and find gentle movements of the fingers and toes. Maybe it's rolling out the wrists and the ankles. Gently draw your knees into your chest, wrapping those arms around your shins, giving yourself a big bear hug again. Maybe curling up, bringing your nose in between your knees. And then maybe you rock forward or roll over to one side. You can stay on that side for a moment in a fetal position, forming a pillow with your hands as you rest your cheek inside of your head there, stacking your thighs, your knees, and your shins on top of each other. We'll gently make our way up to a seated position, using the strength of our arms as we gently raise the torso up, allowing our head to be the last to rise, coming into a seated position at the front of our mat. Bringing your hands to your heart center here. Taking a moment, always ending
and gratitude. Gratitude for carving out this time in your day to experience all the benefits of yoga, bringing all together your movement, your breath, and your mind, and sharing it with all those surrounding you today. My wish for you today is to become the rock star of your mind, to find your strength and your resilience, to be able to move forward into these trying times. The beauty, truth, and light in me honors the beauty, truth, and radiant light in you. Namaste. Beautiful work today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. I hope this benefited you. Please let me know any feedback or comments that you have. I would love to know your experience today with our practice. Thank you for being with me, Sherry. Thank you for being with me, Deb and Martin. I think somebody had to do something else, but this will be posted out here on Facebook. I'll put it out on my YouTube page. So enjoy the beautiful sunshine today, and until we meet again, be well, my friends.